What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Carl the Cobra Froch and Anthony Joshua, Rob McCracken's finest. Get this. He quotes Carl Froch, he needs a brain transplant. Carl says to Anthony Joshua needs to change his mindset to stand any chance in an Oleksandr Usyk rematch. Wow. British boxing legend Carl Froch seriously doubts Anthony Joshua will avenge his defeat to Oleksandr Usyk when the rematch is on August 20th. On Wednesday, Joshua and Usyk met for their final time before final week when they talked up their rematch at the press conference in London before sharing an awkwardly long face-off. Joshua has replaced his longtime trainer Rob McCracken for Roberto Garcia, who is thought to be bringing back a more aggressive version of the 32-year-old boxing star. However, Froch thinks it'll take more than that for AJ to get his belts back. He said for Anthony Joshua to beat Oleksandr Usyk, he needs a brain transplant. He's got all the physical attributes, but I just don't think he can beat him. The former super middleweight champion said on Bedford's lightweight boxing show. Ooh, those are the words of Carl the Cobra Froch. Listen, in this situation with Carl Froch, it ain't what he said. It's how he meant based on what he said. Okay? And him saying, yo, he needs a brain transplant, meaning he's dumb. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying you're not smart enough to take on a guy on the likes of Oleksandr Usyk. Okay, you need a total brain transplant. Then he dumbed it down and said, you know what? He needs to change his mindset. Listen, changing your mindset versus changing a fucking brain are two different things. Counterpunch. What Carl Froch meant to say is, I don't think that he loses. He doesn't have the sense or the brain to beat Oleksandr Usyk. Then he thought about it and kind of half took it back. Okay? That's a pet peeve of mine. If you're going to say something, say it. You know, saying he needed a brain transplant is like saying, hey, he doesn't have what it takes because he doesn't have the intellectualness to do what he's going in there to do. Versus, oh, he has to change his mindset. Well, mindset is just the way you think about stuff. Brain transplant means you don't have what it takes, so you need another fucking brain. Okay, so that's the two different things. So Carl Froch was all cap. He was popping off shit. That's exactly what this is. You know, but this isn't the first time, nor will it be the last time for Carl Froch to be talking shit about Anthony Joshua. Why? Because Carl Froch is a guy that believes in his own legacy, and his own legacy was broken by the hands of the man that he said needed a transplant, Anthony Joshua. Okay? Over 80,000 people or 70,000 people at the Wembley Arena, I think his record breaker was. Anthony Joshua broke that, but that's okay because someone else broke that. But let me show you the difference between the two guys. When Carl Froch broke that record, no one said shit about him. But when Anthony Joshua broke his record, that's all you heard from Carl Froch. Carl Froch was butthurt that he broke that record. Now, Dillian White and Tyson Fury both together broke that record of Anthony Joshua, but did you hear any pushback? Did you hear any trash talk? Did you hear anything like that? No, you didn't. It just shows you that how a person's ego can get the best of them based on something that they think no one else could top. Okay? And then when someone tops it, this is how they feel about it. Understand these guys, like I said at the beginning of the video, these guys are Rob McCracken's finest because they were both trained by Rob McCracken. So they know each other. And Anthony Joshua knows that Carl Froch talks a lot of shit. Excuse me. And he does that, and I think it's purposely, he's been on a crusade because he doesn't like the idea of someone bothering his legacy. This is what Carl Froch should think about. Carl Froch should be more concerned with how the game was while he was fighting. That's all that matters. And not live your legacy through no one else's. Because if you base that off of people in attendance or money made, you're going to come up short every time, because the way the world works, sports supposed to progress, and that's how things are done. Someone is always going to do something that one-ups you. I'm sorry. It's not going to always be about you, Carl. Just like it's not going to always be about Floyd Mayweather, nor Roy Jones, nor De La Hoya, nor Pernell Whitaker, nor Muhammad Ali, nor Sugar Ray, and all these guys. It's not all about you. They'll be talking about the next person, and these guys are the next person. So I think Carl Froch should get over it. But when he dumbed it down and said mindset, well, Anthony Joshua has to come in there with a totally different mindset, to beat Oleksandr Usyk. Okay? And that's what that is. You know what I mean? So, and he doesn't doubt that Anthony Joshua can do that. And he said it in one of the shittiest ways possible. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Carl Froch saying that Anthony Joshua needs a brain transplant in order to beat Oleksandr Usyk in the rematch. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!